One. All right, good afternoon, everyone. This is Monday, October the 31st. This is the meeting of the Metro Council Planning and Zoning Committee. We'll run through attendance. I'm present. Councilmember Gamble is present. Councilmember Toombs is present. Councilmember Murphy is present. Vice Chair Rutherford is present. And Councilmember Welsh is present. So that does give us a quorum of 6. And if others join us, I will update our numbers later. Most items, but not quite all, are on consent. So I will say which items are not on consent. Let's do that. So item number 1 officially, which is Resolution RS 2022-1578, that is an item that is needs to be deferred one meeting per Rule 43, but it doesn't have an amendment or a substitute. So I will include that on our consent agenda as one to be deferred. Other than that, the ones that are not on consent include Resolution RS 2022-1828 for which is a stadium-related issue. We have an amendment, so we will take that off consent. Ordinance Bill 2022-1140 from Councilmember Parker. This is for River Chase. We do have a substitute. He has a letter for that, but I will leave that off of consent. And everything else is on our calendar is marked for consent. Does anyone have any items that you would like to pull? Hearing none, I will read. Okay, we'll take 1141 and 1140 together. Anything else? It will take me a second to read through our captions, but I'll go ahead and get started on that. So for the consent calendar, first is item number 1, Resolution RS 2022-1578. The sponsors are Councilmembers Sledge, Allen, Withers, and others. Approves a participation agreement between Metro Government, acting by and through Metro Water and Sewerage Services, and 1302 Pillow Street, LLC, to provide public water service improvements for Pillow Street's proposed development. That one is on consent, but to be deferred one meeting per Rule 43. Next item is item number 5, Ordinance Bill 2022-1511. The sponsors are Councilmember Sledge, Roten, Swara, and others. Approves a lease agreement by and between Metro Government, acting by and through the Metro Board of Education and Conexión Americas. Item number 6, Ordinance Bill 2022-1512. The sponsors are Councilmembers Toombs, Withers, and Pulley. Authorizes Metro Government to abandon existing public stormwater drainage easement rights for property located at 281 Cumberland Bend, also known as the Presley Apartments. Item number 7, Ordinance Bill 2022-1513. The sponsors are Councilmembers Young, Withers, and Pulley. Authorizes Metro Government to negotiate and accept temporary and permanent easements for the Tenon Road Stormwater Improvement Project for 2 properties located at 2022-37 and 2245 Tenon Road. Item number 8, Ordinance Bill 2022-1514. The sponsors are Councilmembers Welsh, Withers, and Pulley. Authorizes Metro Government to negotiate and accept permanent and temporary easements for the Radnor Street Stormwater Improvement Project for 9 properties located on Radnor Street, Morton Avenue, and Timmons Street. Item number 9, Ordinance Bill 2022-1515. The sponsors are Councilmembers Withers and Pulley. Authorizes Metro Government to negotiate and accept permanent temporary easements for the Edgemore Drive Stormwater Improvement Project for 4 properties located on Creekview Drive. Item number 10, Ordinance Bill 2022-1516. The sponsors are Councilmembers Parker, Withers, and Pulley. Authorizes Metro Government to abandon existing public water main and to accept new public water main for property located at 2525 Gallatin Avenue, also known as Rafael Plaza. I'm not sure I pronounced that right, but... Item number 11, Ordinance Bill 2022-1517. The sponsors are Councilmembers Welsh, Withers, and Pulley. Authorizes Metro Government to abandon existing public water main and to accept new water main for properties located at 423 D Veritas Street. Item number 12, Ordinance Bill 2022-1518. The sponsors are Councilmembers Withers and Pulley. Authorizes Metro Government to accept new public sanitary sewer mains, sanitary manholes, and easements for 3 properties located on Sunset Road in Williamson County, also known as Thunder Drive subdivision. Item number 13, Ordinance Bill 2022-1519. The sponsors are Councilmembers Toombs, Withers, and Pulley. Authorizes Metro Government to accept new water and sanitary sewer mains, fire hydrant assemblies, sanitary sewer manholes, and easements for 5 properties located on West Trinity Lane. Item number 14, Ordinance Bill 2022-1520. The sponsors are Councilmembers Bradford, Withers, and Pulley. Authorizes Metro Government to abandon existing public water main and to accept new public water main for property located at 1 Terminal Drive, also known as Sky Harbor Hangars. Item number 15, Ordinance BL 2022-1521. The sponsors are Councilmembers Sledge, Withers, and Pulley. Authorizes Metro Government to accept new public sanitary sewer main and sanitary manholes for property located at 1206B First Avenue South, also known as Trimble Street Cottage Homes. Item number 16, Ordinance BL 2022-1522. The sponsors are Councilmembers Roberts, Withers, and Pulley. Authorizes Metro Government to accept new sanitary sewer main and sanitary manhole for property located at 812 45th Avenue North. Item number 17, Ordinance BL 2022-1523. The sponsors are Councilmembers Taylor, Withers, and Pulley. Authorizes Metro Government to accept the relocation of a public fire hydrant assembly for property located at 3220 Charlotte Avenue. Item number 18, Ordinance BL 2022-1524. The sponsors are Councilmembers Toombs, Withers, and Pulley. Authorizes Metro Government of Nashville to accept new sanitary sewer main, sanitary sewer manholes, and easements for property located at 2236B Whites Creek Pike. And that takes us to the end of our calendar. Does anyone have anything that needs to be pulled off for any reason? Seeing not, I will call on Vice Chair Rutherford.
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of the consent agenda.
Thank you so much. Is there a second? That's a motion properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Great. All those items advance. Now we will go to items for which there are amendments or substitutes. The first one is item number 2, Resolution RS 2022-1828. The sponsors are Councilmembers Withers, Roten, and Hurt. This requests that the Division of Purchases, with the assistance of the Department of Planning, issue a solicitation for development of portions of the Nissan Stadium campus. We do have an amendment. Vice Chair Rutherford, would you move the amendment, please?
Motion on the amendment.
Thank you. Is there a second? Great. Thank you. Could I call on legal counsel or the administration to describe the amendment? All right. I'll call on Ms. Darby.
This amendment adds a section that would require that any solicitation, to the extent permitted by law, have a goal of utilizing minority and women-owned business enterprises.
And just to be clear for everyone, this is the resolution for the solicitation for the development portion of the Metro campus. I know we've got a few pieces of legislation regarding the stadium, but so this would add some conditions to that. Is there any committee discussion on the amendment or the resolution as amended? I'll go ahead and recognize Mr. Mendez. Councilmember Mendez, go ahead.
Thanks. It's really about the resolution after the amendment, which I can talk about now or
Go
wait.
ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So I just came to this committee meeting today just in my capacity as chairing the East Bank Stadium Committee, and I wanted to mention a couple things for council members and the public. First of all, the East Bank Stadium Committee has a robust set of information on the website, and I had somebody who's close to government asked me today, hey, do you have a copy of the lease for the current stadium? It's on the website for the East Bank Stadium Committee. And pretty much at this point, anything that somebody could say, hey, do you have a copy of, is probably on that website. So please check that out for resources. Also, the East Bank Stadium Committee is acting as a central clearinghouse of any questions that council members have about any of the legislation related to the stadium. All questions can be sent to Danielle Godin in the office, and we're working with Ms. Darby and I are working with the administration to come up with a regular routine of getting the questions to the administration once a week and getting responses promptly rather than waiting to the end. And then on everybody's desk is a schedule of the next 11 meetings of the East Bank Stadium Committee. Some of them at the later end of the schedule are public comment meetings at different places around the community. Please take a look at which ones closest to your district and try to publicize it on your usual channels. And then finally, about the actual piece of legislation, I've had some conversation with the administration that while I think there's a widespread understanding that the term sheet legislation and maybe the hotel occupancy tax are going to be deferred several times to let the committee meetings happen and for further discussion, that the administration would like the RFP, this one, to move forward at the next meeting. And I've talked to the administration about trying to draft an amendment that would make it as clear as we could possibly make it that approving the RFP to go forward has no impact, say, commitment, promise, implied or otherwise, that we're backing the term sheet or the stadium deal as a whole, just because I think they make the point accurately that if we want to get to final documents, a development partner is necessary, so maybe this needs to move forward at the next meeting. And I've expressed that for me to think about it moving forward at the next meeting, more language needs to be added, making it super clear that deciding to go forward on the RFP means literally nothing for the overall deal. Nobody's allowed to rely on it. We never want to see videotape in the future where it supposedly means something. So I'm going to work on that for the next meeting. I think, so whether the amendment gets added or not, we'll be wanting to defer this one for one meeting, I think. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Mendez. Any other questions from committee members or members present? Councilmember Gamble. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. If we could just get another clarification. Thank you, Ms. Darby, for stating what the amendment does. If you wouldn't mind restating that just for my clarity so that we can, and then from my understanding, we'll vote on the amendment before voting on the bill. Okay, thank you.
So the amendment adds a section to the resolution, which would state that the RFP would, to the fullest extent allowable under the law, would seek to promote women and minority business enterprises.
And with that, I would like to make a motion to move the amendment.
Okay. Is there a second? We have a motion properly seconded. Any other discussion on the amendment? All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Great.
Thank you. And with that, I'll make a motion for one meeting deferral on the bill as amended.
Can we get a recommendation on the bill, on the resolution as amended? I mean, so that we can do a deferral here from the from this committee? Or do we, I'm saying, do we need to have a separate session for a one meeting deferral? Yeah.
Do you want to re-refer it?
Yeah. Councilmember Campbell, if you wouldn't mind amending your motion so that we would re-refer it to our committee.
Yes, I will.
We would defer one meeting with a re-referral.
You don't, sorry.
That's 61.
Yeah, you can't.
All right.
It doesn't.
That's fine. Okay, so we will go with the original motion, which is for a one meeting deferral. So just want to make sure that we're all tracking. So all in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right. Amendment. All right, so we do have two items left on our agenda, and I'll read through those. We'll take them together if that's okay, but we do have a letter from the sponsor, which is Councilmember Parker, for that. But I'll read those two captions. So these items are number 3, Ordinance Bill 2022-1140. The sponsors are Councilmember Parker and several others. This amends the Metro Zoning Code by changing from RM20 to SP for properties located at 301 North 2nd Street and 651 and 660 Joseph Avenue at the northeast corner of Dickerson Pike and Meridian Street, encompassing 14.52 acres and located in a planned unit development overlay district to permit a mixed-use development with non-residential units and a maximum of 1,150 multifamily residential units, all of which is described herein. And of course, this is the River Chase property. So that is the actual zoning piece of legislation. We do have a substitute from Councilmember Parker. We have a letter from him recommending approval of that and the substitute, and then a re-referral to our committee. The companion ordinance for this is item number 4, BL 2022-1141. That authorizes building material restrictions on those same properties as part of the SP. Vice Chair Rutherford, could I get a motion on the substitute?
Motion on the substitute.
Thank you. Is there a second? We have a motion that's properly seconded. I know we're really going to have discussion about this on third reading when this comes before committee, but just does anyone have any questions at this time about the substitute or the ordinance, just while we're here? I don't want to deliberate it, but just we do have planning staff here. Councilmember Murphy? Hang on. There you are. Sorry about that.
I'm sorry. So the request from the councilman is to pass and re-refer.
That's correct.
And this gets into the whole re-referral that drives me nuts because the committee process is second reading.
Well, this is zoning, so yeah.
Doesn't matter. Committee process is second reading, or whether it was this bill or any bill. And so I understand that is it the councilman, the sponsor's intention that we discuss this on third and final reading in committee? If that's the case, if we're going to start sending bills back on third reading to committee, then that fundamentally changes the legislative process. We should be deliberating on second reading when it's in committee the first time, and things should be coming back to committee if there is a substantive change or issue that comes up. That's our legislative process. That's the way our rules work. That is not just this committee. I'm concerned that we keep going down this slippery slope of changing the deliberation process for other conveniences. And so I guess I would like a better understanding of why we're re-referring it to our committee and not just deliberating on it through the normal course of procedure.
Sure. The letter from the sponsor says that he's the sponsor of the above referenced legislation that is on our agenda. If he's unable to attend the meeting, which he was not, he's asking that this legislation be approved and re-referred back to the committee on third reading. But this one, typically our zoning bills, we have the public hearing on second. Usually they're approved on second, and then we deliberate them on third. For this particular one, it was not. It sort of went out of process for that, and so it's before us on second. However, since the sponsor is unable to be present, he requested that we re-refer it to our committee so that we deliberate it on third.
I think this is a bill that has been held up for quite a long time, and so I don't want to hold it up any further, but I do think that this has been an ongoing issue in our committee process this term of just making up our own processes and procedures. And that may have been one thing during COVID and when we weren't in person, but we need to be following our legislative process as set out by the law so everyone has a clear expectation. And so I would just ask committee members to, again, this is not on the basis of the bill, but on the substance here, but I think that we as a committee need to start deciding whether we're going to have the committee process on second, or whether we're fundamentally not going to follow our legislative processes and procedures in the future. So I mean, that's something that we can discuss in rules or whatnot, but if we're just gonna let each piece of legislation follow a different path, what are we fundamentally doing to our process? So that's more of, I think, a theoretical issue that we're having and debate. It's very similar to my just re-referral issues in general. So thank you, and I'll vote to move it forward, but I do expect some discussion of why we're throwing processes out by the sponsor later.
All right, so we do have a substitute, and like I said, just in case anyone had any questions, wanted to make that available while planning staff are here, but I'm hearing that we don't, and we're going to have the discussion on third, which is appropriate. So could I get a motion on the substitute? Vice Chair Rutherford.
Motion on the substitute.
All right, is there a second? We have a motion that's properly seconded. All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Vice Chair Rutherford, would you also move the bill as substituted
I move approval of the bill as substituted.
on second reading, and then we will have discussion on third. So yes. All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Wonderful. Thank you. Just as a final selfish plug on behalf of our hardworking staff, for council members, we do have a deadline, which is today, for your capital improvements budget spreadsheet. If you want to mark it as something you want to keep, or if you have new comments on, or if it's a new item, if you could help to flag that in your spreadsheet and get that to Mr. Wilkinson within the next little bit today, that would be great.
Just want to make sure.
Ms. Darby, I'll take that one back up. So just to be really clear, I know we had a lot of discussion on 1140. Before we conclude, for item number 1141, for the materials, I'm not going to get into a debate with. If I could call on Vice Chair Rutherford again, just to be clear, I know we had a discussion about 1140. So this is for the materials restriction piece only, but for number 1141, could I get a motion on that one, since it does not have a substitute?
Is this a motion on the bill? Yes, I move approval.
All right, is there a second? Properly seconded. All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Great. Thank you for that. I know that got a little confusing. But yes, again, if you haven't done so already, please send your capital improvements budget spreadsheet to Mr. Wilkinson as soon as you can today. And then is there... We just did that one. Is there anything else from legal counsel? All right. Well, seeing no other business before our committee, I declare our committee meeting adjourned. Thank you.